So here is your practice worksheet, 3-1 for geometry. We're classifying the sets of angles as alternate interior, same side interior, or corresponding. So these are pairs of coplanar lines. They don't have to be parallel to use these designations. So here we have angle 1 with angle 2. They're on the same side of the transversal, so alternate interior is not a possibility. We're down to same side interior or corresponding. Same side interior means that both angles have to be inside these coplanar lines. That is not the case for number 1, so number 1 has to be corresponding angles. Number 2, we're looking at a transversal and 2 coplanar lines, and the angles that we care about are angle 1 and angle 2. So, are they on opposite sides of the transversal? Yes, they are. So that can't be same side interior, and corresponding is out because corresponding angles must be on the same side of that transversal. So, since they only gave us 3 choices, we've weeded out 2, leaving us with alternate interior for number 2. Number 3, transversal, coplanar lines that kind of look parallel, but they don't give us that indication with extra arrows. So, looking at angle 1 and angle 2, those are on the same side of the transversal, so my possibilities are same side and corresponding. Are they in the interior of the coplanar lines? Why, yes they are. So number 3 would be same side interior. Number 4, transversal with 2 coplanar lines. The angles that I'm looking at are 1 and 2. They're on alternate sides of the transversal, and they're inside these 2 coplanar lines. So, number 4 would be alternate interior. Number 5, transversal with coplanar lines. The angles that I want are on the same side of the transversal, and they're both on the interior of the coplanar lines, so these are same side interior angles. Number 6, transversal, coplanar lines. The angles that I care about are 1 and 2. They're on the same side of the transversal, but one's on the inside of the coplanar lines and one is on the exterior of the coplanar lines. So this one is in the bottom right corner of an intersection. This one is in the bottom right corner of an intersection. So number 6 is corresponding. Number 7, name all the pairs of corresponding angles formed by the transversal T and the lines S and C. It's okay for S and C to be not parallel. We can still use these terms, corresponding, alternate interior, and same side interior. When we're talking about corresponding angles, we're actually going to have 4 pairs of corresponding angles. I'll color code them for you. 1 goes with 5, 2 goes with 6, 4 goes with 7, 3 goes with 8. So choose, you have to write all of these pairs in order to completely answer number 7. So your answer for number 7 should look like this. Angle 1 and angle 5. Notice how I didn't use a plus sign, because that would mean add them up, and that's not what I want to do. I just want to talk about this pair of 1 and 5. Angle 2 and angle 6. That's another pair. Angle, oops, I already used angle 5. Angle 4 and angle 7. Last pair, angle 3 and angle 8. So those are all of the pairs of corresponding angles in this diagram. And now on to the alternate interiors. Alternate interior, we're only going to have 2 pairs of alternate interior. Have to be on alternate sides of the transversal and inside the coplanar lines. Next chapter, we're going to have lots more parallel lines, but right now they're just coplanar. The other set would be 3 and 5. So your answer for number 8 should look like this. Oops. Angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 5, and that's it. Next, same side, interior. So, same side of the transversal and on the interior of the coplanar lines. Oops. So we could have angle 4 with angle 5, or angle 3 with angle 6. So your complete answer for number 9 will look like this. Angle 4 and angle 5, angle 3, and angle 6. Now, let's find these measurements. If we know that this is 100 degrees, we've got 2 options on how to attack this. You could say that we've got a vertical angle with number 2, but that would be going out of order. Poor angle 1. How about saying 100 is an alternate interior angle with angle 1? So they're on the inside of the parallel lines. Oh yeah, notice that these are parallel because we have the extra arrows. So if they're parallel lines, then being on the inside of the parallel lines and on alternate sides of the transversal make these congruent, and they kind of look like they'd be the same measure. So measure of angle 1 will be 100 degrees. And now, since we're learning new terms, let's talk about corresponding angles. 1 and 2 are corresponding. When the lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. So the measure of angle 2 is also 100. Now, number 11. Transversal cuts through 2 parallel lines. I know they're parallel because I have the extra arrow. They tell us this angle is 75, and let's go in order. Angle 1. What's the relationship there? These are alternate sides of the transversal, interior of the parallel lines. So 75 is alternate interior with angle 1. So measure of angle 1 is 75. Now angle 2, you can see that it's vertical, but that was last section. So let's use corresponding angles. 75 with angle 2. Corresponding angles are congruent. So angle 2 is also 75 degrees. Number 12. 135 has what relationship to angle 1? Right, corresponding. Corresponding angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. So measure of angle 1 is 135 degrees. Then we can say that 1 is vertical to 2, but also, if you remember back to section 1, we had alternate exterior. because they're on alternate sides of the transversal and they are on the outside of the parallel lines. They're not in this orange middle section. So measure of angle 2 is also 135 degrees because when the lines are parallel, alternate exterior angles are congruent. Find the value of x. Well, we can do that. We have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Who cares about this side? We only care about the x. I've got x and this angle, x minus 26. Well, you know what? If this is parallel lines cut by a transversal, then these angles would be same side interior angles. Same side interior angles add up to 180. So they're supplementary. So that means x plus x minus 26 should add up to 180. So let me do that over here. Number 13. X plus x minus 26 is 180 because this angle and this angle are supplementary. So these I can combine like terms and get 2x minus the 26 is 180. And the reason is simplification. Now I'll add 26 to both sides because of the addition property of equality. Now I'm down to 2x equals 206. Divide both sides by 2, division property of equality, and x is 103 degrees. So then we've found the value of x. Now we have to find the measure of the angle. Well, first one's easy. This big one here, make some room. This even looks like a number bigger than 90. So x is 103, that makes sense. This angle here looks a little bit less than a right angle. And again, it makes sense. I have to do x, which is 103, take away 26. So 103 minus 26. Oops, sorry. Trying to go too fast. 77. Number 14. Let's make some room. Number 14. Parallel lines cut by a transversal. Same side interior angles will be supplementary again. So we can set it up. X over 2, which is the little angle, plus 7x, which is the big angle, adds up to 180. Again, this one with this one, they're supplementary. So this I can rewrite. Sorry. 1/2 x plus 7x equals 180. So let me simplify this. 7x plus half an x would be 7.5 x equals 180. Divide both sides by 7.5, and you should get x equal to 24. So if x equals 24, then this angle would be 12. And this angle would be 7 times the x, which would make it 168. And you know what? When I add these two together, I get 180. And so that means they're supplementary, or that confirms that they're supplementary. All right, does this diagram look trickier for number 15? Hopefully not. You see two parallel lines cut by some transversals. But we really only care about the parallel lines and this transversal right here. Now, what's the relationship of the angles that they're showing us? Well, I've got this guy and this guy. What's the relationship called? Corresponding. And corresponding angles are congruent. What does that look like to set it up as algebra, though? Corresponding angles are congruent, so that means the 3x minus 5, those numbers will be equal to the x plus 55. So when they're congruent, that whole 180-degree thing has no bearing on it. So now let's solve. I'm going to subtract the smaller number of x's first, so I get the x's together on one side. Then I'll add the 5 to both sides, leaving me 2x equals 60. Divide both sides by 2, x is 30. Now I use that value of x to plug it back in here, and for x plus 55, well, that's easy. 30 plus 55 makes this 85. And incidentally, since they're corresponding, I happen to know that this angle will also be 85. But let's just double check with this. 3 times x, well, that's 3 times 30, that's 90. Take away 5, 85. Perfect. Last one, developing a proof. Supply the missing reasons in this 2-column proof. This is my favorite kind of proof. So, here we go. The statement, A parallel to B. Hey, look at that. Right there, it's a given. Now, if we make the statement angle 1 congruent to angle 2, well, let's take a look at where they are. I got angle 1 and angle 2. What's the relationship there? They're on alternate sides of the transversal, and they're on the interior of it. So, angle 1 and angle 2 are alternate interior angles. When the lines are parallel, which we know they are, alternate interior angles are congruent. So, for A, we should have alternate interior angles. Postulate. I'm sorry, theorem. Alternate interior angles theorem. Now, 2 congruent to 3. Why is that? Well, if I've got 2 here and 3 here, those are my good old vertical angles. So for part B, I get to say that they're congruent because they're vertical. And for part 4, angle 1 congruent to angle 3. Now, you've got some options here. Angle 1 and angle 3, those are corresponding. Corresponding angles are congruent, so you could say that. But did you notice that we have something special right here? First we said angle 1 was congruent to angle 2. Then we said angle 2 was congruent to angle 3. Now we're jumping down and saying angle 1 is congruent, sorry, I'm not making the congruent symbol, am I? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So it's a lot like if A then B, if B then C, therefore A then C. And that was called the transitive property. So I would give you I would give you full credit for either answer for letter C, transitive or corresponding. Great job. Thanks.